So I'm here with Dennise Hutton, fellow golf pro and great friend of mine. Hi Dee, how are you?
Hi Annie.
We've just been out on the golf course doing some video tips for you, and we got chatting and we were talking a little bit about life on tour, and we thought you might like to hear some of the stories and learn a little bit about life on tour and some of the lessons that we took out of it and some things you can learn about golf and how to improve your game and that sort of thing.
Party's a good one.
We did drink. Well, Dennise drank a lot of wine. Dennise was the sort of wine buff of the tour. And whenever I went out to dinner with Dennise, I used to say, I'll just have what she's having.
Reminds me of that movie.
Yeah. So you were very good at sort of in amongst all of the golf, because it was a lot of golf, wasn't it? It was golf,
Huge
travel. It was airports, it was hotels, it was not a lot of sightseeing. We were talking about this, that Dennise really made the effort to get out and see various things and drink a lot of wine. But I didn't, and I do regret that.
I think you said to me you came out with John and myself when we'd go sightseeing. So we'd practice really quite hard, and then we'd see you still on the practice fairway, and we'd say, Annie, come on, we're going off to the art gallery, we're going to go sightseeing.
Yeah.
And because I think when you're on tour,
you did drag me out a little bit, which I'm glad you did.
And it is important.
Dennise and I travelled a little bit together, but Denise's ex-husband, now John, was travelling with her a lot of the time as well, and he caddied for you, didn't he?
Yes.
Which is often a recipe for disaster.
Divorce?
No, recipe for divorce. Ex-husband now, for a reason. But I think what might be interesting for people to know is the sort of day-to-day, grind of the tour. We really didn't stop, did we? It was sort of each week would be, Monday would be travel, Tuesday would be a practice round at a new course, and that would involve taking yardages and practicing on the greens and working out what breaks they all had and making notes about that. Wednesday was our Pro-Am day, so you'd play a Pro-Am round, then you'd have the Pro-Am dinner that night, and then you'd
Which was always fun, but very
tiring. And then you'd play Thursday to Sunday, and then you'd start again on the Monday travelling again. So I did that for 10 years, and you were out there for that same sort of time.
No, I only did it for 5 years, Annie, because I wasn't divorced then, so then I became pregnant and had a son.
That's actually why I stopped as well.
Same reason.
Yeah, it's very difficult, isn't it, once you've got kids coming along to continue playing.
But I think, for your viewers, it's like a travelling circus.
Yeah.
So everyone sees it as glamour, and it is very exciting, but it's not the real world. Even going to the cocktail parties we had to and being in a different country each week sounds exciting. And
it was at the time, because you're young and all that stuff.
But it is a career, it is a job. Yeah. It was a 10-hour job a day.
Yeah.
So you love what you're doing, but it's very, I think even a lot of the younger people who are thinking of taking it up kind of really need to know that it's not all glamour and have to work hard.
It's not all it's cracked up to be.
No,
it sounds fantastic and everything. Yeah. But we were thinking about some of the stories that we could share with you. And I had one that I always tell because it's probably the story that I kind of remember the most. I was playing golf in Belgium with Laura, and Laura Davies at the time was probably one of our best players, and she hit it way further than everyone else, and she was a bit of a superstar on the tour, and I was playing with her, and I was a little bit intimidated, which she tended to be because she hit it so much further than you.
So far.
And we crossed over the 10th, and she had a lady from the golf club caddying for her using her own electric buggy, which I had never seen before. We're going back 20 years. And Laura had gone to do something at the halfway, and the caddy had as well. And I said, don't worry, I'll take your bag for you. I'm thinking I'll just take it up the hill. And we were going up this big hill, and I couldn't get it to go up the hill, so I'm turning the power up higher and higher and higher, not knowing what I was doing. Next thing, the thing tips up, takes off up the hill. Her clubs are falling out, the balls are bouncing off, there's gloves, there's tees, people are running from everywhere to try and help me. And all I could think of was, oh my gosh, Laura Davies' golf bag is going to be all over the floor. So you can imagine that stuck with me quite a lot.
Yeah, I bet she was a good sport about it.
She was a good sport. She was a great sport, actually. She was good fun to play with.
Very. First tournament we played in Belgium, and this is a rules thing, which I think will help your viewer. I was so nervous teeing off that because it was my first tournament in Europe. I teed off and put it slightly in the rough, went down and played the next shot out of the rough, played quite a nice shot, so I'm happy. I get down to the green and I go, this is not my ball.
Oh no. Did you have a Belgian accent at that time?
I was trying to do that, that ad. This is not my dog, or whatever it is, that thing.
Oh no! First hole, first tournament.
First tournament.
I
in
didn't
Europe.
know that.
Oh
you
yeah,
did that.
and I had to walk all the way back, hold the entire field up.
Oh no,
And I
that's
could hear,
horrendous.
and I was playing with Claire Waite, who just won the World Amateur, and I'm like feeling like such an idiot. Mind you, I never did it again, and I missed by one
So
shot.
you hit someone else's ball.
Yes.
So easy to do, isn't it? Especially when you're
I didn't
stressed.
have my ball marked. I was stressed. I was nervous.
We always
I was
learn these
so
things the hard way, don't we?
Yeah.
Mark
But I
the
never
ball.
did it again.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing for everyone to, take care of what ball you're hitting, mark the ball.
Yeah.
Know it's your ball. But that was not a good feeling.
What did you shoot that hole? What did you have?
A double bogey.
Right. What did you have that round? You made the cut.
No, I missed by one shot.
Dang it! One shot. If it
I
hadn't
wanted
been
to go home. I wanted to cry and go home. I miss my mummy.
It can be very stressful, can't it,
very.
being on tour? But I don't remember feeling stressed about it. Like now I think back how stressful you're playing for money, you're playing for your livelihood, but I didn't really feel that.
Well, you're not one of the people in the ladies' locker rooms before teeing off who was like, because when you get really nervous, well, you either want to, pardon it, but you kind of want to either vomit or you go to the toilet a lot.
And women, women go to the toilet a lot.
So all the cubicles would be full of people either being ill or going to the loo. You weren't one
No,
of those?
I don't remember that
It
actually.
it was full because it's kind of nerve-wracking. We all react differently, so
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
important for your viewers to know that
Yeah.
even golf pros who look like they're calm are really quite nervous.
Yeah,
That old
yeah,
idea, though, they get
absolutely.
their butterflies to fly in formation.
Oh, yeah. That one. That's a good
They're
one.
nervous, but the butterflies fly in formation, so they look calm.
Yeah, they do a good job of looking calm, don't they? But I think you get very used to being out there on tour, and you get used to crowds. And people used to say to me all the time, "Well, how is it playing in front of all those people?" But you don't really see them. You don't notice them, and I think you like it better, don't you, when there are people around watching you, because you think, well, this is what you've practiced for, and this is what you're here for. And if there's no one around watching, it's sort of there's not a lot of
Means you're not
atmosphere.
playing very well.
Yeah, well, that's right. You're generally in the bottom end of the. Actually, I remember once I was playing in France, and there wasn't very many people around, and there was a couple walking sort of towards where my ball was on this particular fairway. It was just off the fairway, and there's this couple, and the one lady was in high heels, and the other guy was in a suit, and I think they must have been from the corporate tent. I don't think they really knew anything about golf. So I was kind of walking towards her. Next thing, the ladies picked up my ball and said, "Is this yours?" She was some glamorous French girl, had no idea about golf. So I had to take a drop and, put it
But
down.
in those days, golf was kind of, 20 odd years ago, golf was kind of relatively
Relatively
new.
new,
In Europe,
yeah.
Which, I think I've told you the story of playing in Italy, and there was champagne everywhere. And this lady, I was on the putting green just practicing my putting, and this lady walked across the putting green saying, with her champagne, saying, "Oh, where's the golf?" And she had stilettos on, and she just stilettos all across,
Making holes in the green.
making holes. I thought, oh, good, aeration. for the green.
Aeration for the green. Don't need
No
to.
idea, no idea. It's
Yeah,
changed a little bit, yeah.
it's changed now, yeah. Well, it's probably still quite a new sport in Europe. But so what other stories have we got just before we finish up, Dee, and share with our...
Caddies, what about caddies?
Yeah, a lot of people ask about the caddy situation and how it works
Yeah.
and
How much they get paid.
how much they get paid. And if you were a good player, so if you're in the top maybe 30, you would have a caddy that travelled with you, and you'd pay their expenses, and you'd pay a weekly rate, and then they'd get a percentage as well of your income, and then there'd be a higher percentage if you won, I think, as well.
It depended on what agreement. Like when John was caddying for me, he took like 100% of everything. So but then after a couple of years when he wasn't caddying for me and I hired someone else, I was paying the caddy, and this is a long time ago, but it was Graham was caddying for me. I paid him £200 a week plus his expenses, and it was a flat rate whether I won or lost. So whether I made money.
Yeah.
So I think some would, if they'd get 7% for a win, but less slower. So
Right.
it was just negotiated.
Yeah,
But,
negotiating.
it's still quite a lot because
Yeah.
we didn't play for as much money as the men did in those days,
That's
which is
right.
still the case. But
That's right. And it was always she hit a bad shot and we hit a good shot.
Yeah, like if you're scoring well, we played really well today, the caddies.
Yeah, we had 3
played
under
really well.
today.
And then
She double bogeyed the first.
we could have got more money, but she did it.
They became a big part of the tour. You're like a travelling circus, as you said, and everybody knows everybody, and you know each week, the caddies became a big part of
That's
life
true.
on tour. You know, you get to know them all very well, and they become part of the kind of family of. Yeah, it's a great experience.
It was wonderful, Annie.
Yeah, we're very lucky to
enjoyed it.
have done that. Cheers to life on tour.
Cheers to life on tour.